emergency crews in shock over what they found at Mississippi crash site where 16 service members died. Those who join our military do so with the willingness to die in the line of duty. It's an incredible sacrifice that far too many end up making in service to God and country. When this happens, their family and friends take solace in the fact that it was done in furtherance of the greater good, and their memory will serve as a reminder of the liberties we retain in this great nation. The families of the 16 service members who died in the plane crash that happened in Mississippi on Monday won't have the same comfort. They will have to live with the fact that this crash happened on American soil and that it was completely avoidable. As with many of the problems we struggle with today in America, we get to at least partially thank our disappointment of a former president for what led to this tragedy. Freedom Daily reported that 7 of those killed were Special Forces commandos, military who have given years of their lives to become some of the most elite fighters on the planet. Their lives were tragically ended because of equipment malfunction. It's been found that the aircraft actually exploded in midair before it ever touched the ground. This is due to the age and maintenance allowed on the aircraft, which of course can't be fixed without funding and attention being paid by the Commander-in-Chief. President Trump has been systematically working to fix everything that is in subprime condition after 8 years of improper leadership, but he was always just racing the clock before something awful happened. A full investigation has been launched into exactly what happened, and what can be done to keep this from happening in the future. Via Reuters. U.S. officials on Tuesday were investigating the cause of a military transport plane crash that killed 16 service members including elite Special Operations Forces a day earlier, leaving a miles-long trail of wreckage in rural northern Mississippi. The KC-130 Hercules aircraft disappeared from air traffic control radar over Mississippi after taking off from Cherry Point, North Carolina. It plunged into a soybean field at about 4 p.m. CDT. 5 p.m. EST, on Monday in Mississippi's LaFleur County, about 100 miles, 160 kilometers, north of Jackson, the state capital. 15 Marines and 1 Navy sailor were killed, the U.S. Marine Corps said. The names of the deceased were being withheld until family members were notified. Further details were not released. General Robert Neller, Commandant of the Marine Corps, pledged a thorough investigation into the cause of this tragedy. The aircraft was originally based out of New York's Stewart Air National Guard Base, Marine Corps officials said. It was transporting equipment and people to a Navy facility in El Centro, California. Equipment on board included small arms ammunition and personal weapons. 7 of the 16 who perished, including the sailor, were based at Camp Lejeune in North Carolina and were members of the elite Special Operations Command of the Marine Corps. The Poughkeepsie Journal in New York said Marine reservists from the nearby Stewart Air National Guard Base were also on the plane. U.S. President Donald Trump said on Twitter that the crash was heartbreaking. "Melania and I send our deepest condolences to all," he wrote. Stars and Stripes, which covers U.S. military affairs, reported that witnesses said bodies were found a mile from the wreckage. Images posted online by local media showed the plane's crumpled remains engulfed in flames in a field surrounded by tall vegetation, with a large plume of smoke in the sky. The crash left a 5-mile, 8-kilometer, trail of debris, the local Clarion Ledger newspaper reported. The KC-130 Hercules, manufactured by Lockheed Martin Corp., LMT.N., conducts air-to-air refueling, carries cargo and performs tactical passenger missions. It is operated by 3 crew members and can carry 92 ground troops or 64 paratroopers, according to a Navy website. Greenwood Fire Department Chief Marcus Banks told the Greenwood Commonwealth newspaper that firefighters were driven back by several high-intensity explosions that may have been caused by ammunition igniting. It was the worst Marine Corps aviation crash since January 2005, when a CH-53E crashed in Iraq, killing 30 Marines and 1 sailor. Thankfully, this terrible tragedy did not go unnoticed by President Trump. He and the First Lady were quick to speak out about how deeply they felt for these service members and their family. Something else, we could never depend on the wannabe emperor that Donald Trump replaced in the White House. While we absolutely cannot send enough condolences for this needless loss of life, one beautiful gesture was sent out by a private citizen who went to the scene of the crash and showed a poignant salute to these fallen heroes. Our military is becoming great, once again, just like the rest of the country under the new leadership. The economy is booming, lawmakers are able to pass laws that support what Americans support, and the future looks just a little brighter. While it doesn't lessen the pain of what happened to these amazing service members, we can take heart in the knowledge that we have a leader for our military that is working hard to make sure nothing like this ever has to happen again. Share if you agree that the memory of these crash victims should live on. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe Breaking News 365 channel. Goodbye and see you again.